All right, greetings everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of Office Pro TV. In today's show, well, guess what? We are continuing on in our, what is it? That's right, Excel 2016 Essentials Series. Wait for it, right? Gotta have that lovely little pregnant pause. And joining us back in the studio, our good friend and mentor in this endeavor, Miss Vaughn Smith. Vaughn, we're glad to have you again. How's it going?
I'm just trying not to laugh through your introduction. I'm just like, oh, this is so funny. You just make me giggle. So.
We've got a weird simpatico vibe going on. It's just,
yeah, I'm just like,
peas and carrots here, ladies and gentlemen.
Peas and carrots. And today we're going to talk about fills and fills. So, yes, we're going to talk about fill series and flash fill. Now, flash fill is, be ready. You're going to be amazed by this one. Always do. So, all right, so we're first going to just do a little review. We're just going to talk about copying and pasting like we've done before. So I have a workbook that's ready to go called Navigate a Workbook, which we were using in another episode. And we have things like ActiveCell and Move Here, which I realized I don't think I ever actually did. I think I just said you could move something and I didn't do it.
You made passing reference?
Yes, probably. So why don't we do an active reference and do it? So if I wanted to take my active cell by getting my cell selector, whoops, hello, let's go ahead and not move my magic mouse too much. We have here, when we get into the edges of an active cell, we get the 4 pointed arrows because we identified that when we were learning how to navigate within a workbook. So when you get the 4 pointed arrows and then you click, hold, and drag, you are moving the content of that cell to a new location. And you can see there's like a little tooltip down there that is letting me know like what cell I'm in. So when I let go of my mouse, it will then move the cell information to that location. So,
I like that.
Yeah, right? Just a quick little, hey, I want to move this over, just grab the 4 pointed arrows, move it down. And you can always get like a chunk of stuff and say, because I need to maybe move it up because I needed to put like another content
another row
in here.
there or something.
Yeah. So if I could just grab it and move it, it's a little bit easier. I'm just doing Control Z for undo there right now.
Seeing as the Enter key doesn't actually create a
right,
It just moves down. That could be coming in handy.
Yes. So those are some different ways of just moving, and we identified it, but I didn't actually show it in action. So, but the reason why I wanted to go over the move and then now the copy is because I'm going to show you how you can move and copy in one fell swoop, which is probably one of my favorite little shortcuts in Excel. But if we wanted to take this active cell and copy, we could do Control C or right click, and then we come over to our other cell and we Control V or right click. And we did talk a lot about the different paste options that you have within Excel when you're going from like Excel to Excel, and then we went from Word to Excel. So I can just paste it right there, and that's great. Now notice that the running ants keep on there, they stay. And that means I could come somewhere else and just keep on pasting because it's just like remembering that particular active cell. But to cancel this, to say stop doing the running ants, just hit the escape key and then it stops it. All right, wonderful. So the move and copy. Well, if you get to your edge of your active cell, you get that 4 pointed arrow, and you hold your Control key, and I'm gonna try and zoom in to see if you guys can see this a little easier. You see the mouse cursor icon there. I'm holding the Control key down. Do you see how it turns to an arrow with a plus? Plus meaning another.
Add something?
Yeah, so if I click, hold, and drag and let go, do you see I've moved and copied?
Oh, it's getting even better as we go, ladies and gents.
It's just so cute. I love that
so
shortcut. So, and I use it
it's like
all
a pony
the time.
or like a fuzzy puppy.
It's so fuzzy. so oh, it's a fluffy. It's so fluffy.
You ever see a basset hound puppy? You want to see cute? Oh my goodness.
I can.
I digress. Go,
okay, I know. Yeah, we're talking about fluffy things and puppies. Okay. So, and again, you could do this with multiple ranges of cells. So if whoops, that's the wrong key. If I go ahead and hold my Control key down, get the 4 pointed arrows for the move, I can go ahead and move that around. Yay, fun, awesome. The other thing we talked about in the navigating Excel was the fill handle. We talked about how we have our white plus sign, we have our 4 pointed arrows, and then this little, the black plus sign, the tiny little black plus sign on the bottom right-hand corner is known as a fill handle. And I said, like, when you drag it down, it does something. Well, what it does by default is it copies. So I have this active cell. I come down to the 4 pointed arrow here, and if I click, hold, and drag down or across, but you could see that the little tooltip is saying active cell, and I let go. Oh, there you go. So that's exactly what the fill handle is supposed to do by default, is take whatever that information is and copy it down. Now, I could also copy it across, so it doesn't matter which direction you go. It's just knowing that the black plus sign will always copy whatever the content is in there.
And again, really quick, how do we get the black plus sign back up there?
That was when you get to any active cell or a range of cells. So it could be a range. You go to the bottom right-hand corner.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, that kind of little, like, it almost looks like a little square down there.
I see.
And that will take you, because I could take this and then drag it across and copy it. Yeah. So that's what it'll always do now. It copies, but it also has some special functionality and some special copying, if you want to say, especially when we start getting into formulas, and when we talk about what's known as relative reference, where it's copying the formula down, but then it's changing the reference as you go down. It's pretty awesome. Check that out in our functions series. I think it's a functions essentials. So we have 3 levels of functions within Excel, because there's a lot that Excel can do, and when we talk about calculations. All right, and then the other thing it can do with this fill handle, it copies, but it could not just copy content, it could copy just the formatting, which we'll talk about in our formatting episode. And then the other thing it does is it will do what's known as a fill series, and it goes by what are known as custom lists, and as long as it identifies an element within that custom list, it'll go ahead and create it. Like, what are you talking about? Let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just minimize this for now. I don't think I need this anymore. Actually, well, you know what? I need to bring back Excel and just do a Control-N for File New, because I want to just get us a blank starting point. So, fill series. Yay, I love this. This is another one of those, ooh, I didn't know it could do that. All right. Days of the week. Right? If I'm doing things that I'm always having to track things like Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, maybe dates, months of the year, right? How many Basset Hound puppies were born in this month, and so on and so forth.
Hopefully a lot, because they're awesome.
Yeah, but I'm sure like a nice little gaggle of them, like,
yes,
flopping around. That'd be adorable.
Are they called a gaggle? I guess so. Yeah.
We're gonna call it a gaggle.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Gaggle. That's what we like.
So we go ahead and type in one of our first days. Let's start with Monday. All right, perfect. Now, I'm not even done typing. Say, my flashing cursor is still in there. It doesn't matter if you had entered and then came back to the cell or kept your flashing cursor in that cell. If you come to the little black plus sign, that fill handle, and you drag down and let go, ta-da! It fills in.
It just knew to do that automatically. You didn't have to say, hey, we're doing a series fill.
Nope.
It just said, oh, you put Monday here. Obviously, you want Tuesday right after that. Correct. Now, I guess that begs the question, what if I did want Monday?
I'm so glad you just said that. Yes. Because Monday is it's like a trigger. It's a word that is in a custom list that is built in to Excel by default. So that's why you're like, how did it know that? It's just part of the program that comes out of the box. So it found that wherever it was in that series, and then just said, okay, let's just go ahead and fill down in the order that you told me to. And that's a very important point of like, oh, that's fantastic, but I just wanted Monday. This little guy down at the bottom, our smart tags. We've seen these smart tags when we did our paste options. Well, now you can see it says autofill options, because it's automatically filling in something for you. You click this down, and this is where it gets even cooler. You said, all right, well, what about if I just wanted to copy? Because I said the fill handle is copying by default, unless it sees a trigger. So I could say, yeah, let's go ahead and just copy the cells. And then I'll get Monday.
Awesome.
And then we also could come into here, I like this one, fill weekdays. Maybe you don't have to track anything on Saturdays and Sundays. So you click on that, and now it's Monday through Friday.
Yeah, you were right. Helmet should have been worn.
Oh, we're just getting started.
The tip of the iceberg here.
Oh, yes. So there's some neat things that you can do with that, and this is where I told you about how it does the copying, but it could also fill formatting only, that's where if you had like a word, and I'm not looking to copy or anything, I just want to say take the format and then copy that down, you could use that as options. These options on the autofills are really, really handy. Now I started with Monday. Well, what if for some reason I needed to start with Wednesday? I don't start on Monday. And I don't want to do the full words because we usually abbreviate like with the WED, like for Wednesday. And I'm capitalizing it just to show you another variation. Take that, click, hold, and drag across, and notice that that little tooltip is coming up to say if I wanted to go from Wednesday to Wednesday. You let go, and there you go. So it's any one within that list, because it is in order. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You see one, it'll go ahead and keep on going, and then repeat the list.
You're making me a convert into liking Excel. This is getting better for me. I have to admit.
Don't make me cry.
Yeah.
You know I'm emotional.
Hold it back, Vaughn. Bite your hand.
So that's really cool that you can do all these things. Now, days of the week, months of the year. So what if I said JAN and then pulled that down? Well,
the heck you say.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yep, and we can go all the way to December. But if I needed to just be copying that, then I can do that. All right, so you have those different options, and you could put it in, because maybe your fiscal year goes from July through, well, let's make sure we spell July properly, and then we go across to June. There we go. And now I have all the months of the year going ahead and populating there. So these are the 4 default custom lists that come with Excel, the months and the days. So those are pretty neat. Now what about things like numbering? You know, there's a lot of types that we have to do those things. And like in Access, you know, the primary key, a lot of times it does the auto numbering type thing. Well, I need to have that here in Excel. Well, I shouldn't probably use the primary key example because we don't want to confuse that. You know, using
databases
Excel
versus Excel. It's not the same thing.
But we're just creating a list of information. So let's type in the number 1.
One is a primary.
And you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and pull this down. And oh, well, it didn't.
It does the old copy.
It does, because that's its first job. But because it knows, hey, there is a number in there. If I choose this to go to fill series, bloop, I can go ahead and have automatic numbering by just using that fill series right on down there. So, and this can be used in conjunction with text. So let's say we have project 1. And I'm just using that as an example. You pull that down. Now that automatically sees it as a sequence.
That's because it's more than just having the number there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, you have some words. And remember this where I had this like hello world? You don't think I typed those numbers in, did you? Sure
no.
Did. Well, now you know I didn't. I just used the fill series, and it made it a lot easier for me to go ahead and do that. So, but of course you can always switch it back into, I need you to be copying project 1 because I'm tracking certain things within project 1 and so on and so forth.
Vaughn, I just realized something. I'm going to know Excel by the end of this series, aren't I?
I hope that's the plan.
And I'll be responsible for people going, hey, I've got this Excel issue. Do you think, yes, I can help you.
Now, I can't do that. Nope, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, right now I can just claim ignorance. And those days are numbered, though, apparently.
Speaking of numbers, what if I needed a sequence here? Because right here,
How many days before Daniel is competent in Excel?
We could write a formula.
We probably could, yeah.
But if I had, say, we're counting by 5s instead of counting by 1s there. So I wanted to do 5. Now you have to give it the increment. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to start up here just because make it a little easier for us to see. We're going to do 5, enter, 10, enter. So I'm putting 2 cells that have that iteration. So now we're counting by 5s. You have to select both first, okay? So you have to kind of think of it in steps. I need to select, let go. Now get the black plus sign and drag down, and then it will see that sequence and be able to count by that. So if you were counting by 2s, by 5s, by 10s, by 100s, what have you, you could go ahead and set it. But you set it first, then you select it, and then you autofill. Because I have a lot of people just, they'll go here, and then they'll just click, hold, and drag. And it's like, nope, it doesn't work that way. You gotta like recognize it first, and then fill it down. So you can do your sequence of numbers, which is pretty handy. I like all of that stuff. Now, I told you that these are from custom lists. So, if there's some default custom list, can I make my own?
I would think you could.
You can. So I've had some examples throughout the years of people saying, oh, what was it? All the counties in Florida, right? They're always having to list them all down. I think there's 67 counties, or 62, or 57.
Yeah, 67.
Is it 67?
Yeah.
And it always starts with Alachua. So they type in Alachua and then fill on down and go all the way to something with a W, Walla Wookies or Waka.
I know this actually. I did it because I worked at the state Florida Farm Bureau, which is an insurance company. We have an office in every county, and it's weird.
There's an S and a K and an A in there.
And what's weird is there's a county that's that name, and it's in the northern part of the state, and there's a city by the same name that's in the middle of the state. So it's very weird. I always confused. What is the name of that county? I'll find out. You continue.
Yeah, consult the Oracle.
Yes.
So, but the whole idea was that she wanted to go ahead and get something where she could just fill it on down. I had another person that was an elementary school teacher, and she's like, I always have the same, 25 kids in my class for the whole year, so I start with the first one, then fill it on down. Instead of like copying and pasting, did you find it?
Yeah, Wakulla.
Wakulla.
But that's not the last one. The last one is Washington.
Oh, there's Washington?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's in the Panhandle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wakulla is in the Panhandle as well.
All right. Sorry for that squirrel.
Yes.
Really quick.
Squirrel.
But
we weren't going to be able to do this without getting that out of the way.
I know. I'm like, find it. So, but the idea of like the counties in Florida that I need to go ahead and make that list, you can do that. Now, there's two ways that you can. First of all, let's find out where it's at. If we go to File and we go to Options, it's in the Advanced, and then you got to scroll down a little bit and find the General. There it is.
I like how General is squirreled away way at the bottom, not right at the top.
Well, I love that there's General and Advanced, but then there's a
Advanced General.
Yeah, Microsoft and they're naming things the same.
We need to get somebody over there.
We have Edit Custom Lists, and that's where it says for sorts and filter sequence, or fill sequences. And there you can see, I already made one. I forgot to take it out, so you can see right here.
Saved you some typing.
Yeah. See, well, just to click on it, see, I had like all of our hosts and everything, so I had to start first. But then we went on down. But notice that my list entries, and then I went ahead and added that to my list. Okay. Well, what if I wanted to make a list of cats? Right? So up here at the top where it says New List, you see where it says List Entries, you just go ahead and start typing, separating them by enters. So if I just go ahead and Fuego, and then Bishop, and then...
My cat's name is Willow.
Willow? Ooh, I like that. Okay, Willow. Do you have any other cats?
That's the only cat we have.
Okay, well, I'll go to my Gen 1 cats. And so that was Pumpkin and Miss Puma. Okay, and I could keep on going, so on and so forth. So once I get all the ones that I want in there and I click Add, well, now you can see that it has been added. Now, I typed it in the order that I would want them to be displayed. So that's where once you add them and I click OK, hello. Let's go ahead and zoom out, cancel. So let's type in Fuego and then use my fill handle, and you can see that it will go ahead and fill in with Fuego Bishop and then come back to Fuego. So you can make your own list if you wanted to. And so like if I typed in Daniel and then pulled down, you can see that we are part in a list. So it recognizes that based off my list, and then I can do it from there.
Very cool, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now instead of typing all the ones in, so let's just do, I'm just going to type in something really quick. And, hello. Okay, well, let's just keep it that way. All right, perfect. So I've got it all typed in. I want to make this my list. If you select it first, okay, now notice this is J12 through J15. So let's go back over into our options. I'm going a little faster just so I can get there. Edit custom lists. And now you can see that right there, it's already referencing that selection that I had made before I got here. That absolute reference, that's that $, always do this. Now, it doesn't mean it's always going to reference those cells. You can see the button right there. I'm pointing at my computer like you can see me pointing. Right here, there's an import button that will import that list. So it doesn't have to do anything with the cell reference anymore. It's just for me getting the list into my custom list, and now you can see if I type in the word 4 and then pull across, it will recognize that as my particular custom list. So pretty fun stuff that you can do with your fill series and your fill handle. Okay, so now let's talk about flash fill. I'm serious. I'm so excited about this because it's just it.
Is this the rainbow fireworks that you looked for so hard, the big finale?
Yeah, and it's so simple, but if you know anything about Excel and the things that you would have to do to make this do this from back in the day before you had flash fill, it's just like, oh my gosh, it was pretty cool.
Because it's like writing your own amortization table. Seems easy on the surface, right?
Just write it in
Oh man, just crank that out. It was hard.
Yeah, so we have this is pretty awesome because this is where we do have some text functions in Excel called concatenate. Concatenate means put two things together, or then there's like extracting, like I want to get the first 4 characters out of this particular cell and then be able to do that. Like I want to extract the first names out of the last names. You'd always have to like, okay, now you have to examine the length of the text before you go ahead and then get the number of characters. They're still there, but they're just kind of complicated. They've made it so much easier for us. Okay, I have flash fill. So let me give you some examples if you're like, I don't understand what you're talking about. So right here, and this might be something that a lot of people have to do, where you have something where it has first and last name, and they're in 2 separate columns. But you need to combine them together to have it say Bishop Timothy, Georgette Whiskers, Belle Darling, you know, that type of stuff. Okay, here we go. All you have to do, type in the first one, right? Bishop, space, Timothy, and watch what happens. When I hit enter, you're like, that didn't do anything, Vaughn. I know, but watch the next one. If I start typing in Georgette, all I had to type in was the G in Georgette, and look at what it did. That list, it says, oh wait, I see a pattern. You did this in the first one. You want me to concatenate everything that was in that first cell next to the next cell. I hit enter, and then poop.
That is utter magic right there.
Right?
I hope on the other end of the screen, I'm stuttering. I'm completely shocked and amazed at that. Yeah. That is stinking cool.
Right? Yeah. And this would be where you would have to write a formula to say, take whatever's in A1, concatenate it with B1 or B2, and then go ahead and do that. And then you'd have to like do the formula, and then you'd have to copy it, and then you'd have to paste it into another column.
Do
and
it
then
again. Do it again.
Oh, I got more. I got another variation. So what if I need, okay, the first letter of their first name and then their last name.
Okay.
So that would be B. Timothy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do it a different way just to show you. I'm going to do that fill handle again here, but I don't want it to copy. There is an option in your Smart Tag that says flash fill. I click that. Bloop.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Excel is Skynet, apparently. It's that smart. It's that awesome.
It's pretty cool. Now, there are some situations, like, for example, look at this one down here. If I look at Cafe Mocha, right? Oops, sorry. So she has a double first name, okay, and then Cafe Mocha Cup, because that's her last name. Notice that with this one, it worked just fine, but it said Cafe M Cup. Because if you think about it, what was the pattern? They're saying, okay, whatever's in this cell that's closest to the next column, right? So mocha is closest to cup, so that's what's going to become. It didn't do C,
right?
Or it didn't do CM, right? It didn't see that. It didn't be able to differentiate.
So there's some logic going on behind there, and then as long as we're aware of how that logic works, we can predict what we're going to have as our outcome.
Yeah, and the thing is, you do have to have, I mean, your data has to be
formatted.
Yeah, it has to be in a certain way for it to do this so seamlessly.
And this is common, like, as I've worked in systems administration, people's names can be generally kind of a pain, unless they're standard. You know, John Smith, very easy to work with. But when you get into Mary Beth Kanosh, you know, it's okay. Is it, you know, or what if you have 2 people with the same name? Then what do you do? That's when things can get hinky.
Yeah, exactly. Hyphenated last names. I mean, I know people that have you know, double first names. It's usually with a hyphen, you know, but it could be 2 full names.
Right.
So it does depend on how that all works. So I think I knew someone with a Yes, it was De La Salas. That was his. Yeah.
Nice.
That was his last name.
I
But it was three individual words.
I knew a kid in high school. His name was Ognebeni, Bhishmadiva Ognebeni.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We called him Dave.
That's awesome. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
So this functionality of this flash fill is amazing. So if I wanted to take the first letter and then the last letter, or the first letter of each of their first and last name, and then you take this down. Now I'm going to do another way of where I can go ahead and all I did was do a shift click to the last entry, and up on the home tab there is a fill, and it's called flash fill, and you can see it does it again. All different variations. I want to do their last name, comma first, Timothy, comma, space, Bishop, and Bishop. There we go. And I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to do a keyboard shortcut, which is Control-E, and that does it as well. So amazing, especially when you have all these variable lengths of words and name.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So just some other examples so you can just kind of see the whole scope of this. I think you're getting the idea, and it's almost too easy. All right, so now this list, by the way, I got from that Project Gutenberg. It's like the most downloaded for either the day or the month or something. So I'm assuming that those numbers in parentheses would be like number of downloads because they do go sorting downwards. So I just want to pull out the number, 563. Got the idea. Shift click, Control E, bloop, done. Okay, pull it all out. Pull out the first word of this list, drag down. Whoops, don't want to do that. I want to do the flash fill. There we go. So pretty neat. I can do the last word, the second. This is really
cool.
Right, adventures. Okay, adventures. Okay, do the same thing, and then we Control E. That's just crazy. That it's recognizing the second word of these titles. Now, do notice here on Beowulf right here. Oh, God, I remember reading that.
It thinks 253, I guess, is the
next word.
So, apparently what it's doing is it's saying any space is a delimiter.
Yeah.
So every time we have a space, the second thing there, that's the second field, therefore that is the second word.
Yes. Yeah. So that's where, again, how your data is like shown, it does make a difference. So, and again, you can have your last word, comma, and then the number of downloads, shift click, Control E, and it does it. So yeah, so simple, but yet does it so well. This is part of the intelligent, you know, these programs getting more smart, and
more smarter.
Yeah, more smarter for us, so they can help us out and using that intelligent service. But this was actually around in Excel 2003 as well. So I didn't know that, and I was working on 2013. Did I just say 3?
3, yeah.
I meant 13. I'm sorry. It had a 3 in it. It just needed to put a 1 in front of it. So 2013. But it's one of those. Even for me, I've been teaching Excel for a long time, and all that stuff is like. I didn't go looking for it. I didn't know it was there. And I'm just like, this was here the whole time that I was working in 2013. This could have done so much for me. So, I mean, it happens to all of us, everybody. So don't feel like, how did I not know this?
Yeah.
I do it too. And if I can do it, you can do it too.
Well, Vaughn, it is definitely a very powerful and time-saving feature found here in Excel 2016, and apparently as well as 2013. So if you have that, you can still do it there as well. Very cool stuff. If you've never seen this before, I've never seen this before. As I start to work more with Excel, I know that's going to be a great time-saving feature, and that's what it's all about, making things efficient, making it easy for us, instead of having to do a lot of this and a lot of this and this and this. Forget that noise. Just copy, paste, and do my flash fill. Awesome, right? Mind's blown. Vaughn, thanks so much for dropping by and teaching us. This is definitely going in my bookmarked favorites. That's for sure. I want to be aware of this as hardcore as I can. Hopefully you do as well. Unfortunately, though, we are the end of our episode. We do thank you for watching, and we'll be back for more in our Excel series. But as for this one, we're going to go ahead and sign off for Office Pro TV. I've been your host, Daniel Lowry.
And I'm Vaughn Smith.
We'll see you next time.